You are now live on Channel 8 and YouTube.
Thank you very much, TCTV. Good evening. It is now 6:30 p.m. I'm Chairman Mike Curry, and I call the Select Board Emergency Meeting to order on this 18th day of December, 2024. Please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind everyone that today's meeting is being broadcast live on TCTV Cable Station 8 and our YouTube web platform. For those who wish to revisit any part of our proceedings, the recording will also be available on our YouTube channel. Your subscription to TCTV would be greatly appreciated. Additionally, if any audience members are recording this meeting or plan to do so, please notify us prior to starting. Also, this evening, we'll, let's see. We've got our quorum. Good evening, everyone. Our agenda tonight, along with public documents, is available at templetonma.gov, the official website for town information. Here you can subscribe to alerts for public meetings in our town administrator's weekly report. As chair, I maintain the discretion to modify tonight's agenda as needed to manage time effectively, and utilize public resources efficiently and ensure public awareness. I reserve the right to rearrange agenda items to best accommodate our proceedings and honor our guests. Okay. All right. We have an emergency meeting. We have no approval of minutes. Is there any citizen input at this time? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to administrator comments.
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. And we are on new business. We have no new employees and no appointments. And for our single item that we have tonight is action related to discussion and vote on Royal Sun Cannabis LLC, Bud Runner LLC, and Royal Sun Farm LLC host community agreements. And with us tonight, we have Damon Schmidt. Thank you very much for being here. Adam or Damon, want to just tee this up for us for the discussion?
But I would suggest, Damon, if you could update the board on the progress you're making over there. I know we've chatted, but maybe update them a little bit about that. And then you can start, or Attorney Holmquist. But
yeah, just what brings us here tonight for the HCAs.
All right. Well, yeah, in terms of the HCAs, so we're trying to get through our licensing process. The first step for the store is to get a provisional license. In order to do so, the Cannabis Control Commission changed, their application process, where now they want everyone to send in the town's HCA before they approve them. And they made some changes to the law, or basically, some structure as to what they do. I'm sure the attorney could explain it better. So basically, I sent in all the HCAs for Templeton, and they basically sent back a typed up letter, going through the HCA, basically stating what needs to change to follow the law. So basically what we're doing is following what's called their model HCA. And then from where we are with the store, now that they've left my parking lot, we're trying to get them to, hopefully to pave it or give us a top coat. So they kind of just showed up there and weren't really invited. So, and hopefully they can pay us something, but it was a very long trespassing. But we, I talked to the building inspector, so we put some hardwood floors in, put a couple walls up, just interior, nothing structural. So basically the next step is send this hopefully in the next day or so, whenever we sign it. Then in about 2 months, the CCC should come out and inspect the store. So we don't think it'll take 2 months to build it out. It's really just a security system and some walls. The biggest thing will be the drive-throughs. So we'll build those out, and then the Cannabis Control Commission comes, they do a full inspection. They always find something wrong. You go back and forth for like a month or two. Hopefully not that long this time. That happened with our cultivation. They tell you what to fix, you fix it. Then they send you on what's called the once a month Cannabis Control Commission meeting, which is on the second Thursday of the month. You get approved, you get your final license, and then you're allowed to bring some product on site. And then you call again to the Cannabis Control Commission to do what's called a commence inspection. So they come in again, make sure, you can use your cash register. So they basically will run through, a process like that. They check the security system again, and then they give you a commence operation. So we're hoping to get that all done by like April, May. So from our standpoint, it's, maybe 4 to 6 weeks of work, and then we're just waiting for the Cannabis Control Commission.
Damon, did I hear something about grants?
Yeah. So we applied for some grants.
And I think that was like the time sensitive
Yeah,
thing that the board, I wasn't here for the last meeting, but Matt talked about the necessity for the board to be able to meet, to be able to work with you on the HCA's if it was gonna mean that you have an opportunity.
Yeah, that's great that you guys were able to pull this extra meeting. So supposedly by the end of this month, maybe next month, they'll announce the grants. So, I applied for 3 of them for the town, so it was 750,000, so we'll see.
Okay.
So 250,000 for each of our licenses. And, we'll see what happens. We did get a $50,000 grant back in April. So we've already gone through the process once. And out of the first, grants they did, we got the full amount.
Okay, and these are business grants, right?
Yeah, so they're
not
grants from
municipal.
well, it's, if you want to look it up, it's called the Cannabis Control Commission Social Equity Grant
Okay.
Fund. So we were lucky enough to get, I think we were one of 30 people or 30 companies that got it. But the maximum back then was 50,000. And now they made it, the maximum's 500,000 per company, per license, if you had a commence. And then if you had a provisional, it's 250,000 per provisional. So I rolled the dice, hopefully. I applied for 500,000 for Royalston for my commence, so we'll see. I have 7 applications in. We'll see how they all do. So
Okay, thank you, Damon.
they're great grants too. They just kind of give you the money. You don't pay it back. But they tax you for it, so nothing, nothing's for free, but it's somewhat free.
Very helpful.
Yeah, it would be.
And who issues the grant? The
State of Mass.
state of Mass, okay.
So we're lucky that we went through it. So now we have, State of Mass ID, we're a merchant or whatever we are.
Right, EIN.
Yeah, what it goes for the state,
Got
we
it.
have a specific number with them, so. We'll see.
Okay,
Yeah, thanks for holding this again.
thank you. Brian, do you want to add in anything?
So Mr. Schmidt had a really good summary of basically how we find ourselves at this juncture. The original HCA's for these companies were negotiated in 2020, 2021, and the legal landscape has changed quite a bit since then. And basically the Cannabis Control Commission sent back the previous versions of the HCA's listing the things that are now out of compliance with the current law. And so given that a lot of the sort of extraneous items in those old HCA's are now out of compliance, we thought it made sense to use the Cannabis Control Commission's model HCA, which they would presume to meet their applicable regulations. It's
So
also
Ryan, they would expect to see what the drafts that we have in front of us, that's what they would expect to see.
that's the model basically taken and adapted for the information that was in the old HCA's that can kind of basically survive the changes to the law. So you'll note that any reference to the community impact fee has been removed because
Yes.
it's and we had already I know we had spoken before about amending those to remove that, but then there are a few other items that the changes to the law make either really difficult to enforce or just not allowable. So the model is certainly the most streamlined process to comply with the requirements of today. And I don't think it materially, other than the things that have been disapproved, really changes the town's position. I have just 2 more suggestions. Looking back at the draft that are in your packet. The first is that, and maybe Damon can speak to this, but I know we had asked for certificates of good standing for the businesses. So I might suggest if you do want to move forward with these, making any execution contingent on getting those and proof of good standing. And the only other thing is the effective date on one page is stated as the date of your last meeting. So I would definitely recommend not making those effective until they're actually signed. So those are my two suggestions on the drafts that are in your packet, but that's basically the model HCA taken and filled out for the businesses that.
Thank you, Ryan. And one is for cultivation on Valley View, and the other is for retail at 1 North Main.
Yeah, and also manufacturing at Valley.
Yep,
As well.
understood. Yeah, I
and-
saw the 2 tick marks.
Yeah, and I can actually send the certificate for the Royal Sun Farm one. Well, I have that in my email here, so
Okay.
that's the important one to get in.
Right, so that would be an amendment, or the 2 amendments would be for the dates. I would recommend, so it's a full 5-year, that it would be signed on the 18th and would expire on the 17th of 29. And then we put the amendment to include a statement of good standing is received by the town. Adam, did you want to add anything in, or can I move to board member questions?
I'm all set.
Okay, thanks. Board member comments or questions?
I'm just thankful that Ryan answered my question already. I was wondering what the word model, what that meant, because I would like to see him successful. And, if you're comfortable with the model way to go, then I appreciate your detail on that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a lot of the things that we had asked for before, so it just simply won't be allowed anymore. So complying with the law and the model is definitely the most like I think I said, streamlined way to do that.
That's what I heard.
Thanks, Terry. Any other board member questions or comments? And I think we can make the amendments, but we could probably sign the signature pages tonight. That wouldn't change. If that makes sense, Adam.
I have those.
I figured you,
That would be smart.
yeah, so we can give you the signature page.
And post date them, the chair.
No, it would be
Tonight.
sign on the 18th, expire on the 17th. We would sign the signature page tonight and
Okay.
it would go with the amended document. We would be voting for the amendment with the statement of good standing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Matt, Jeff, Tim, anything?
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I move to approve the host community agreements with Royal Sun Cannabis LLC, Bud Runner LLC, and Royal Sun Farm LLC with the following amendments. On page 1, where it says this host community agreement is entered into this 18th day of 2024. There are 2 blanks there. Those need to be filled. Also on page. It's page 5 for both. It is page 5 going into 6 for one of them at a time. It starts on page 5 for both. Effect date, term, and termination. This agreement shall be in full force and effect beginning on December 18th, 2024. This agreement shall terminate on December 17th, 2029. And then and with the final amendment that these will be executed contingent on proof of good standing. And for the board to sign.
I have a motion.
Second.
And I have a second. Any further discussion? Or question?
One proof of good standing is enough, right? One, that's all we need is one.
I would, yeah.
You would need it for each of the LLCs.
So 3. Is there 3 LLCs?
And I guess one option for doing that would be to authorize, possibly authorize the chair to sign when it's received is another option.
Would that be added to the motion?
I think you're doing the signature page though. I think you're doing.
But if you're signing it
Yeah,
tonight, you can just state in the document that this is effective upon receipt of proof of
Yeah.
good standing.
Okay.
You know, in kind of the way that, you guys had the conversation on, the 11th. We wouldn't give the host community agreements until we had that.
Right.
You know what I mean? We would retain it until, you wouldn't get your copy until we had those. Okay.
Details are important for
Yep.
success.
There.
Yep.
Okay, anything else, ladies and gents? Right, hearing nothing else on the motion to approve the HCA's with Royal Sun Cannabis LLC, Bud Runner LLC, and Royal Sun Farm LLC as amended this evening. How would you vote, Tim?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Terry, Matt,
Yes,
and I vote yes as well. Great. There you go.
thank you.
thank you, Damon.
All right.
Thank you, Dana.
I'm
Merry
dismissed.
Christmas. Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
happy holidays.
Yeah,
Merry
and I would
Christmas.
just work with.
Does he have to sign this or he signs it?
Do I sign it after or does
I think, yeah, the board, I'll have it with the board signatures.
Yeah, then
You
you
can
just-
swing by the office tomorrow afternoon if you get it from that.
yeah, or you can
Good
just
standing.
email and I can, send it back to you. Would you want me to just sign now? It doesn't matter.
You just wouldn't get the full signed copy until
Yeah.
we had the provisions that Ryan was talking about.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
I'll follow up with you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Damon.
I'm
Good
going.
night. You too. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Right, that ends new business. And that brings us to board member comments. Are there any board member comments tonight?
Just a reiteration of safe holidays, everybody.
Been a busy and crazy year. A lot of work has been done. There's been a lot of behind the scenes and grassroots efforts. I appreciate the work of my fellow board members and to everybody out there, safe and happy holidays.
Thanks, Tim. I agree. It's been a busy year. Well. Terry, you said her? Merry
Said it,
Christmas,
yeah.
Jeff.
I would just say, a Merry Christmas and wish a good New Year to, all the residents. Thank you.
Should I wish for a white Christmas for you?
That would be a plus.
All right, then I wish for a white Christmas
There you
for
go.
Jeff, if that can be. I've got nothing this
I
evening.
second that.
And I just
motion.
echo my fellow board members' comments. Safe and a happy holidays to everyone and look forward to continuing the good work that we've started this year when we come back in 2025. And on that note, I will make a motion to adjourn until our next regular business meeting on January 8th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m.
Second. Thank you, Beaver.
Oh, second, yep, motion in a second.
Those guys need to send a second.
I think
Yeah,
Jeff.
just a
Almost
second.
second.
There's two of them.
Two of them. All right, I have a motion in a second. All those in favor of adjournment signify by